Are you an overthinker? I mean, do you think about things so much that like you actually don't get anything done? That's me. I'm an overthinker. So I don't know about you, but it's something that I've struggled with my entire life. I get up into my head and I'm constantly trying to solve problems in my life. And I'm trying to solve problems that aren't actually problems. And the more that I get up into my head, the more that conversation is going and going, what starts to happen is that actually starts to bring me down. It starts to bring me into a lower energy and it keeps me out of being present with the people around me. My wife complains about this all the time. Because I'm an overthinker, I'm up in my head and she's like, "Where'd you go? What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, overthinking. Let me come back to this present. Let me hang out with you. Let me be with you." So if this is something that you struggle with, then, you know, that's what we're going to talk about today, overthinking and maybe some ways that we can overcome it. Share with you some of the things that I do that are really helpful with that and give you guys some ideas of maybe what you can do as well. So let's talk about overthinking. I read a meme last night from this guy on Instagram. It's the conscious man. You can Google or search Instagram for the conscious man. I like his stuff. He says, everything in life is neutral. We are responsible for the positive or the negative energy we give it. I love that quote because when you start to view everything as neutral and what you bring to it is either going to be positive or negative, that energy that you bring is the energy that you're going to feel about this neutral situation. And I think that when we overthink, we're actually bringing negative energy into this space. Now, obviously there's an amount of time we should think, we should consider, we should have wisdom. But when we get to that point where we are unable to make a decision or that it becomes an obsession for us, that we're thinking and ruminating about this particular issue, problem, something that somebody said, especially in the sense of a negative content, I think that's when, at least for me, I know that I'm suffering because I'm bringing negative energy to something that was really pretty much neutral. So, I don't know about you. Do you struggle with that? If so, comment in the comments below. This morning, I was doing my meditation. Meditation is something that is so useful for me in helping me overcome the overthinking. But as I'm sitting there and I'm trying to meditate and I'm trying to clear my mind, I'm trying to get centered, I start thinking about overthinking. And I start talking to myself. And I'm like, oh, this would be a great this is a topic for today for my video, overthinking. And then I start thinking about that. And I'm not actually in the present moment doing the thing that I'm trying to accomplish, which is to get centered and clear and straight. Instead, my mind is going a million miles an hour. And then I start to think, okay, Chuck, you're overthinking this at this point, bring it back to the meditation. And then I think to myself, hey, this is a great story that I can use as an example for the video that I'm about to shoot. I don't know if you've ever been like that, where your brain just continues to go, even when you're trying to calm yourself down and to get centered. When I do this, and what I did this morning was, one of the things that's really helpful for me is to put on some music and to focus on the music, focus on the listening, so that I'm not listening to the thoughts in my brain, I'm listening to the music. So in the context of meditation, I put on a little bit of meditative music, some nice soft music that kind of takes me out of my head. And I start focusing on listening to that. And in listening to that, it helps me focus on my breathing. And as I focus on my breathing and the listening, then the monkey up inside my brain stops chattering and I can really tune in and then receive as opposed to think. Now, there's a difference between receiving and thinking. Your brain is constantly going, you not think. However, I think there are times, especially in meditation, where you can calm it down in such a way that you start to receive the answers, where you start to get in touch with that higher part of yourself, when you start to get in touch with the universe, when you start to get in touch with whatever you want to call God, Jesus, Buddha, when you start to get in touch with that infinite source of love, you're able to receive as opposed to create. Chomp. If that makes any sense. And as I was sitting there and I was listening to the music and I was meditating, I was finally able to relax and move from the space of overthinking into clearing my mind and getting centered. And I got to tell you, before I started meditating, I've been bringing some negative energy to stuff. And I've been overthinking and creating this negative energy. And like I said, I think overthinking can bring a lot of negative energy, and I recognize that. And as I was clearing my mind, what started to happen was I was no longer in a negative space of bringing negative energy into my life, because what's going on is completely neutral. When you think about it, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but I was bringing negative energy to it. And as I was meditating, there was this shift and this opening and a receiving of a sense of peace, a sense of calm, a probably a dopamine high, where I started to feel more positive. And and as I brought more positivity into that meditation and I began to receive that, and when I was done, then what happened was, as I'm working with my clients, I'm bringing positive energy into working with my clients. I'm bringing a sense of peace and happiness and harmony. And I'm really able to connect with people on a different level when I'm bringing positive energy. And maybe you can feel this too. Maybe this is something that you've experienced yourself, but you can feel when you're negative and that everything sucks and all of the people around you suck. And when you engage with anybody, there's this feeling of everything sucks. And we get into this negativity zone and we ruminate on that, how bad everything sucks. And then that energy just feeds on itself. It's my responsibility to shift out of that. I have to make a conscious choice that says, hey, I acknowledge that I'm feeling all of this negativity. I want to be positive. How are you going to do that? I think one of the ways that you do it is by stopping and slowing down. When I'm meditating, I am focusing on my breath. Now, I'm not focusing in a way that is, okay, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out, but I am feeling the breath. I like to do this breathing exercise that kind of goes like this, where I open my mouth and I open my sinuses and I allow air to come in, like the air that's around me, let it bring that in rather than inhaling. It's just a letting it come in. And when I'm there and I'm like this, I'm like, and I let the air come in and fill me just slowly. And I let the air come in, it fills my stomach, it feels my, then I let it fill my stomach first, then up to my chest, and then up to my sinuses, and then as deep as I can, and then even take another sip. So just a real deep, slow breath that goes like this. And then I hold it, and then I slowly exhale, and I just all of the air out. And I'm slowing my breath down and I'm breathing like that. It's amazing what happens to my nervous system. I don't need to breathe short, fast breaths. I need to breathe long, slow breaths. If you breathe like that, you're probably breathing maybe 4 or 5 times in a minute, maybe even less. But as you slow the breath down, it slows the thinking down. And as the thinking slows down, that negative overthinking is replaced with peace and calm and positivity. So try that. Try next time you are feeling upset, or negative, or you're in a negative space, just give yourself the permission to go take 5 or 10 minutes and just stop and breathe and put on some music. Put your headphones in, your AirPods in, call up some calm meditative music, and then just sit there and allow yourself to breathe and recognize that the brain is going to do what it's going to do. Don't judge it, just allow that. And then work on bringing the breath slowly and let it fill you, right? Let it fill you almost naturally to the point where you can't take any more breath. Hold it and then slowly let it out. That same nose mouth opening, just that. So it's just with a little bit of force. So I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out, just real light force like that. And if you do that, I think that you'll stop overthinking. At least that's what works with me. So at the end of the day, we have a choice. We can bring positive energy into our life, or we can bring negative energy into our life. Everything around us is really neutral. It's what I bring that's going to change that from either being positive or negative. Same thing's true when I'm interacting with people. Okay. Something's going on. It's a neutral activity. And if I bring in positivity into that space, then that positivity is going to lift up others. If I bring in negativity, then what's going to happen is it's going to bring everybody else down. Likewise, if I walk into a situation that's neutral and the other person is bringing negativity, I can either choose to join them or I can choose to bring authenticity, calm, peace, all of those things. And when I do that, I don't know, I just feel better. I feel better and I have a better sense of myself, a better sense of being. And I'm really able to like embrace the day. Uh, so anyway, I know not only am I overthinking, I'm over talking. So I just want to invite you into the space of meditation, calm, recognize that you have the choice to bring positive or negative energy into your world. It's up to you. And one of the ways that works for me is slowing down, breathing, meditating. Wait, I hope you found this video useful. I know I probably just rambled on from here to there, but if you liked the video, please subscribe, share the video, and comment below because I want to get to know you. And you may be one of thousands, millions of people on YouTube, but you're here. Let's chat. All right. Thanks so much. And I will see you guys next time.